8 movies, one of the best direction legacies in modern cinema. Some of the most stylish, hard-hitting action sequences ever created. And one absolutely iconic character, Ethan Hunt. This weekend I witnessed what may very well be the emergence of the final chapter in this legendary journey. And with it, the culmination of a cinematic phenomenon led by none other than the greatest star, the final star in Hollywood himself, Tom Cruise. Before I dive into everything about this, let me take you back in time to the moment I was first introduced to my cinematic goat, Tom Cruise. It was 13 years ago. I saw a film called Night and Day, a stylish, action-packed, playful film that introduced Cruise to me in a very charming and eccentric way. As I watched him share the screen with Cameron Diaz, I was struck not only by his screen presence but also by his mature and creative, unhinged performance he delivered. I was instantly fascinated, almost flirtatiously enamored by this man's charisma. That moment marked the beginning of an obsession. No, a fanatism for everything Tom Cruise stood for. Over the next few years, I devoured his entire filmography, and as I explored it a bit, I slowly came to understand how Mission Impossible wasn't just another action series. It was a genre itself. A genre while standing not so toe-to-toe with James Bond and other spy master franchises, carved out something exclusive and inclusive at the same time, something only Tom Cruise could pull off. Over the time, this franchise transformed into American version of the spy narrative we never knew we needed, with Cruise at the helm leading it with absolute conviction and fearlessness. By the time the fourth installment dropped, the stakes were already high, and with that, every subsequent film, those stakes kept escalating. Every single time the action sequences grew more jaw-dropping, more death-defying, and more complex. Each film became not just a mission for Ethan Hunt, but a mammoth cinematic project in itself. And now, as I watched what could be the final film, I knew deep down what was coming. I was emotionally prepared, but I didn't watch this movie just as a regular viewer. I experienced this film as a die-hard fan, a worshipper, someone emotionally connected to the journey of both Ethan Hunt and Tom Cruise himself. While watching the movie, I found myself with a constant, almost childlike smile across my face, watching my idol perform these mind-blowing real stunts, ridiculous physics-defying yet grounded stunts that made you flinch, gasp, and clap, sometimes all at once, These stunts weren't just action sequences, they were cinematic art forms, carefully crafted for the big screen, often created just for the joy of spectacle. And somehow you could feel that this man did all of it, not just for box office, but for glory within the fans. And so I enjoyed every second of this movie with immense gratitude and joy. Now to talk about the story, let's be honest, Final Reckoning isn't a story-driven film, but despite you can absolutely feel the immense stake. It is made clear that the entire existence of the humanity, its control over AI and data, is in the hands of one man, Ethan Hunt himself. And even though some of it is far-fetched and borders unbelievable, you carry on with it because you want to believe. That's the magic of this series, Despite its outlandishness, you remember it. You carry the weight of the decisions Ethan has to make. You feel the pressure, the emotional toll, the sheer chaos that falls upon him, the emotional toll and the chaos that surrounds him as well. The film is beautiful in its framing, its sequences and its globe-trotting ambition. But somehow that's nothing new. Mission Impossible films have always been breathtaking to look at, and it's all thanks to Tom Cruise, a man who's always insisted on real-life location, practical stunts, and visual excellence. Even the CGI, especially in this installment, is easily handled with taste. It's used as a tool, not just a crutch, Special effects, camera work, and etc. Visualize the flourishes all work in unison to deliver a believable spectacle. What sets this installment apart, though, is how balanced it is. Back in the earlier films, while Tom Cruise was always the centerpiece, the supporting cast often felt underused and blended into the background. But in Final Reckoning, every single character gets their moment, their purpose, their emotional payoff, and that makes this film not just an action spectacle, but a true ensemble experience. I thoroughly enjoyed the character of Hayley Atwell as well, Her introduction in the previous film was solid, but in this installment, she truly shines. She's magnetic, fierce, and emotionally layered. And on the other hand, we also get the satisfying end arc for characters like Wingram's Luther and Simon Pegg's Benji. Simon Pegg in particular delivers a brilliantly understated performance, anchoring the film with heart and sincerity. He brings a necessary emotional depth that complements Cruise's intensity. The rest of the expanded cast is equally brilliant as well. They all have the significant roles to play and they play them with gravitas. And what's even more impressive is that how the movie connects the dots, specifically linking moments and ideas all the way back to the first film. Spoiler alert, don't worry, I won't spoil you anything. But once you watch it, you'll know exactly what I mean. The thread of continuity is so beautifully woven and emotionally satisfying that you feel awe, like how much recurring and nostalgic the whole thing is. Visually, the film is a masterpiece as well. The action sequences from the train, the desert chase, the diving stunts that we saw back, and now whatever you see in the front are executed with such intensity that you feel your heart rate go up, especially the submarine scene, man. And the entire diving scene is just immensely stressful. Your body feels it, and that's how well the scenes are crafted. And then comes the cinematic plane sequence. Oh my god, Tom Cruise delivers once again, this time going above and beyond, literally. It's nearly unbearable to watch because it feels so real, and yet that's what it makes it beautiful, you know. Now if I had to nitpick, and I do, the only real complaint have is the villain. Ever since Henry Cavill's antagonist in Fallout we've been truly missing a truly prominent, promising villain in the series. Dead Reckoning first part introduces a mysterious digital threat known as the Entity. While it's conceptually interesting, it lacks the physical presence we've used to. It overshadows the actual human villain, Gabriel, who tries his best but never feels entirely threatening or essential. And his death, honestly, it's kind of stupid and underwhelming. He's gone in the blink of an eye, and you're left uncomfortable and confused. So to finally conclude, is this film peak impossible like Fallout was? Maybe not. But is it a satisfying, massive, heart-throbbing, unbelievable yet beautiful experience? Absolutely yes. This movie is a celebration of cinematic action, a testament to what happens when one man, Tom Cruise, dedicates his life to creating unforgettable movie moments. It's a culmination of adrenaline, nostalgia, emotion, and execution. And the ending, oh that ending, man, it made me smile and smile. It was so simple that it just made me happy. During one of the press interviews, Tom Cruise mentioned how after wrapping up his commitments to this franchise, he's excited to explore other genres, musicals, romantic dramas, experimental films. And as a top man, as a true cinema man, that excites me so deep. Tom Cruise, I will miss you in this avatar, and I will always follow you wherever your cinematic journey takes you. That's all for today's review. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that subscribe button. See you in the next one.